Hey, what's going on, people? I got a question for you. What's the point of learning all of this material that we're learning now if we don't know how to use it? So in this lesson, we're going to be talking about how to use some of the material that we've already learned and how to apply it. Let's go. So if you guys remember, not too long ago, I released a lesson explaining triads and how to build them. So we learned the triads, we learned the format, 1-3-5, 1-3-5, one minor 3-5, and then one flat 3-5. Okay, we learned that. So how do we use that? Where do we put that in music? How does it go? Let's do some examples, and I'm going to show you exactly how they fit in music. So just a little recap of the last lesson. If you guys haven't seen that, please go take a look at it. It's called the 4 main triads that you need to know. Learn those triads and come back to this so you can be up to date. So we had the major triad, minor triad, augmented triad, diminished triad. So for this case, I want to show this inside of a song. I want to show you a progression. So a common progression that you would hear these chord changes in, or these triads, because they can be chords as well, just because we're playing separate notes. So I'm going to show you the chords first. Then in the next lesson, I'm going to show you how to build the bass line with the triads as well. So I'm going to show you an example of these chords. So I want to play it. I don't want to play it up here. This sounds too high. Yeah, let's do A. Okay, so you have A major. I'm going to show you progression. A major, augmented, A augmented, stay right there. And what you can do next, you can go to the B minor triad, and then stay right there. B minor diminished, or B diminished, not B minor diminished, but B diminished triad, and then you're back home. A nice little progression. You hear that a lot. It's actually a song from one of the games that, like a Candy Crush game, I think I play. It sounds very familiar to that. So. Okay, so you get the idea, right? So you have major, augmented. So we're going out of order here. So we have major, augmented, minor, diminished, but we're using all 4 of them. So we just played a song or played a progression using all 4 triads. So I'm playing them as chords. So if you want to know the chords up here, so I have major, 4th finger, 3rd finger first. Make sure I'm in tune. All right, you have major, augmented. This chord is actually pretty easy. You have 3rd finger A, next finger down, you have your C sharp, and the next finger down, you have your F. It just goes diagonally. The next minor, all I did was move that up a whole step, but I played the minor triad. So the difference between the minor triad is the minor 3rd and the major 3rd. Minor, so B minor triad. And then all I have to do to get it diminished to stay right there, move that 5 down a half step. All right, so I have a minor 3rd and a minor 3rd stacked. You guys remember? And then I'm back home. Okay, so with the major chord, you guys know that major chord. You hear it in a lot of songs. If the key is in a major key, usually that first chord and that one chord is going to be a major chord. So that's very familiar if you hear that a lot. The minor, I'm just going through all of them. I'm not going in order of the progression, but I'm just going through all of the triads. So the minor, the song is in a minor key. You have that minor triad. Now with the augmented and the diminished, those are the 2 flavorful chords that you won't hear all the time, but the major and minor are the most common chords that you would hear. So with the augmented, you have to associate that with a sound. That's what I like to do. Associate that with a sound of a song that I like to hear, and it's like a simple progression that we just did is a very simple way to, or very easy way to be able to associate that with that chord or with that progression. So in this case, I'm using the augmented chord as a passing chord to go to the 2. Okay, so I'm doing A major, staying right there, A. Now my next chord is going to be a B minor chord. So that's, in the case of this progression, that's what it's doing. That's its role. So it's actually being used as a passing chord to get to the 2 chord or to the B minor. You remember your Ionian, your A Ionian, if you're in the key of A, whole step up will be your D Dorian. So that's a minor triad, okay? And then the diminished, I'm using that almost as a substitution for the 5 chord, right? So, so if my 5 chord would be, if I'm in the key of A, my 5 chord would be E7 or E major. I'm not using 7 chords, I have to watch out for that. So we're using triads. So 5, 1. Instead of 5, 1, I'm doing diminished and then 1. It resolves really nicely because you see the notes. It resolves very, very nicely to that 1 chord. So a diminished chord to a 1 chord sounds nice, okay? So that's how you would hear that chord. In the next lesson, I'm going to show you guys how to build the bass line to a song like this or to a progression like this. And I'll show you some other examples of this augmented chord and diminished chord as well. And this is a pretty common way, well, not as common as a major or minor chord or a major or minor triad, but it's pretty common to be able to use this type of progression or these chords, these augmented and the diminished chord. I think this is the most simple way to be able to understand these chords at first, especially when you're starting to learn them. So we're learning triads, we're learning chords at the same time. We're going to build on top of this. So make sure your notes are coming out clean, clear, and precise. We're going to dig a little bit deeper into these triads. I'll catch you guys in the next one.